Hey guys, it's Mega Monday. That means it's time for another Mega News Roundup for August 23rd, 2021. Today it's all about Mega Man X DiVE and Sage 2021 and maybe a couple of other updates. So let's check in with Mega Man X DiVE's producer, Yoda, as he has a new DiVE Time presentation for us today. Well, it's actually 3 days old now as I'm recording this, but you get the point. Anyway, this man is 100% ready for COVID with his helmet, his X Buster, and even a Rockman X DiVE branded mask. Nice. After quite a bit of shenanigans, we get into the news. The guild system, which was announced way back in April, is finally coming to the Asian and Japanese versions of Rockman X DiVE. I have to specify, all the news we're talking about today does not apply to the US and UK servers for Mega Man X DiVE, because they're doing their own entirely different thing. But I will talk a tiny bit about the global version after the news is done here. Anyway, if you are playing the Asian or Japanese version, on August 25th, which is the update for this week, you're gonna see the new guild system icon on the main screen. Poor Rico's gotten crunched into the center. However, the icon is going to be grayed out, so the guild system is not going to be available this week. The video just says it's coming soon. However, later in the video, there is a date for September 1st to September 7th in there, so hopefully we won't have to wait too long, unlike with the April announcement. Alright, here come the details now. First of all, only players at level 30 or higher, not too hard to do, can access the guild system. You can create your own, join an existing one, and invite other players to your guild. When you are creating your own guild, you can set the name, the icon, which there are a lot of cool little icons, with references to a ton of different things from throughout the Mega Man franchise. You can also set the condition for joining the guild, like a power requirement for example, or you can just leave it open for anyone to join. However, there is two pieces of bad news I have for you. First of all, to create a guild, you need to pay up 500 elemental medals. That's half of a 10 pull. I can see where they're going with that. They don't want you to just create a billion different guilds willy-nilly. I don't doubt that greed is part of it, but at least it's not paid medals, and probably they just don't want people to abuse the system. The uglier news, however, is the fact that at least when you start out, you can only have up to 10 members in your guild, including the leader. At this current stage, it's unknown if you can upgrade that upper limit, but assuming it is only 10, oof. As much as I would like everyone from the ShadowRockZX channel to join in on the guild and have fun together, it looks like I'm going to have to be very selective about who I let join my guild, which sucks. I don't want it to be that way, but what can I do? I don't even know how many guilds you could create or if it's just the one, assuming you had the thousands of medals to do it. But all will be revealed soon once we get our hands on the mode. Anyway, once you join a guild and the leader accepts your application, you're treated to this pretty cool screen that shows a Maverick Hunter's headquarters of sorts, with different facilities scattered throughout, although in this video we only see Guild Hall and Guild Boss. But this might be the most impressive screen presentation wise we've seen yet in DiVE, as we even have some of the Maverick Hunters like X, Zero, and Axel running around and doing their things. Most likely it's going to be dependent on whichever character you have equipped at that time. At the Guild Hall, you can donate Zenny to get some rewards like cards, boxes, and other materials. So hey, something to do with our Zenny, finally. But more exciting is the Guild Boss Battle mode, which a new boss will be available every week. Now we can practice against some of those raid bosses without having to wait a month or so to see a new one. And indeed, it's literally raid boss mode, but on a smaller scale, since you only have 10 players fighting against it, which is going to mean you're going to want to have all your members actually active playing the game to get the most out of guild mode. It's a similar concept here. Every raid boss you defeat, you get rewards for it. There is a new twist to it, however. Before you fight the main raid boss, you have a choice of fighting the two smaller bosses. In this case, we have Wolf Sigma as the main, then both Chill Penguin and Goliath as your small bosses. From what producer Yoda says, when you defeat the sub-bosses, you will gain a buff to help you in the main raid boss battle. Or if you feel powerful enough already, you can just go ahead and skip all that and go right to the main raid boss itself. It's entirely up to you. The development team has also prepared a number of events for the guild mode, which include joining the guild boss fights, reaching specific numbers of members, which might mean we can indeed upgrade our upper limit of members. That would be cool. And then you have donations, obviously. That pretty much sums up the guild system though. They're going to be adding more functions to it as time goes on, but for now, it does seem better than I thought it was going to be. I just hope we can get more members than just 10. Definitely in the early stages here, the highlight is going to be that raid boss battle mode. Because I do like the concept, it just sucks that it only comes around every couple months. But with a new one every week, yeah, that's fun. And before we move on, producer Yoda himself is mentioning it, so I guess we will too. And the update that came out last week, we did finally get to see the full face reveal for Rico 2.0, otherwise known as Eco. You know, without the R. She's basically Rico, but edgier, and more mature too. There's still a lot we don't know about this new character, but definitely expect to see her more often in future story chapters. Even producer Yoda promises that there is going to be a great progress in the plot. Well geez, that would be nice, considering all the story chapters up to now have been like, hey Via, are you gonna do the thing yet? Oh, not today? Oh, alright then. Like seriously, get on with it! With that said then, that is the end of Dive Time with producer Yoda. See you later, Yoda. Bang! Now we can discuss what is really coming out this week in Rockman X Dive. Once again, not the global version, mind you. As the summertime comes to an end over here, the Fireworks and Lantern Festival is back. That means you get another chance of getting Festive 0, the Squid Sword, the Cannon God, and no doubt you caught a pallet, probably. But move aside Zero, there's a new festival character taking the stage. Festive Leviathan, or should I say Leviathan, is going to be your new S-Rank festival character for this week. Man, this is like the second seasonal ult she has gotten now. She really is the favorite guardian among the devs, I guess. And hey, remember back in Mega Man 02 when the Guardians took on an armed phenomenon form? Leviathan's armed phenomenon is referenced in her Yukata pattern, and even one of the skills, but we'll get to that right now. Skill 1, Splash Laser, is a straightforward laser, what can I say? From what I can tell, it can also summon water balloons that attack enemies like a mine. That's probably going to be one of her passives. In addition, Splash Laser can also inflict slow on your target, reducing their movement speed up to 3 stacks. Now skill 2, Go Fish, is where the armed phenomenon reference comes in. As for this skill, Leviathan literally launches the armed phenomenon straight forward, obviously targeting on to whichever enemy. The best part about the skill, however, is that you can gain a shield when you use the skill, just like with Black Zero's Rayquaza. Naturally, there is a new S-Rank weapon as well. Following up the Cannon God, this time it's the Thunder Sword. Not to be confused with the actual Thunderbolt Blade, Berserker. And uh-oh, this sword can stun. Welp, go nuts, pizza cutters. It's happening. The stun status comes from the small lightning bolt that the sword produces when it hits a target. Well, this is going to be interesting to see how it affects PvP. Then again, the status guard item still exists in many of the PvP maps, so maybe it won't be as big of a deal. Of course, I'm not very good at predicting how the meta goes, so I'm just looking forward to the results. The Fireworks and Lantern Festival 2021, featuring Festive Leviathan and the Thunder Sword, is opening up for business on August 25th. It's going to be a 1-week event until September 1st. Which coincidentally is also when the guild system might open up for realsies. Now I do have to mention something funny about this trailer in particular. The first draft that was released, before it got fixed a few minutes later, had a couple of issues. For one, they misspelled Leviathan, like I alluded to earlier, and although they did fix it in the second draft of the trailer, they still managed to misspell it in the tweet that they sent out with the new trailer. Well, you can't win them all, I guess. The other big error in the first draft of the trailer was the background. You might notice in the final draft that there is a scale-like pattern behind the main background. Well, when the first draft came out, it looks like they accidentally put the scale layer on top of the main background layer, so you could see nothing but the pattern. And yes, I did say accident, because I know as a video guy myself, these things do tend to happen when you rush out trailers and things like this, which I assume this was rushed out because that would definitely explain all the errors. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, a typo and a background layer issue is nothing compared to the dumpster fire that is the global version of Mega Man X DiVE. Ooh boy, that is a topic we're getting into right now. So we covered last week how the global version is pretty much starting from scratch. At this time, the most up-to-date banner is the Ferrum banner, which is only coming after the very first starter banner, complete with the original S-rank rates, 3% instead of the 4.5% that we enjoy in the Asian and Japanese versions today. They put the Storm Eagle event out early before anyone got a chance to unlock it and power up. Not to mention, that very same event gives a bonus to Second Armor X and the Essence of the Abyss. Wanna know how you get Second Armor X? You don't, because the banner isn't out yet. Wow, what the heck? Like, I get it. This was how it was in the original Taiwan version when the game came out for the first time. But you could at least put in the effort to change some of the details to update it, because at this rate, by the time Second Armor X comes out, the event is either going to be over or almost over. And then there's the whole thing about the S-rank vouchers, which you get for free when you start the game for the first time. Players weren't even able to cash in those vouchers until very recently, like the other day when they announced, hey, the banner's live now. Cool, I guess. And okay, you say, that's weird, but not a deal breaker. Well, what's really interesting is what's happening outside of the game. I'm talking about Nebula Joy, the third-party developer that Capcom chose to handle Mega Man X DiVE overseas. And as a recap, Nebula Joy is a Chinese mobile developer, which incidentally is backed by Tencent. They recently put out the Devil May Cry mobile game, including their own Mega Man mobile game, which is titled Rockman XZ Time Rift. For now though, they're handling Mega Man X DiVE in the West. But anyone who's part of their Discord server and actually paying attention to things is getting a little sketchy now. The first sign showed up when they were asking people to post their email address publicly in the replies of one of their contests. Why would you do that? Just open up your own DMs and have people DM you, or DM the winners, whatever works. But don't ask people to post sensitive information out in the open. And then, more recently, they've started asking people for their IP address. By the way, I'm going to be using our good buddy Protodude's tweets as a reference here since he's been reporting on all this. Anyway, what's this IP address business? From what I understand, specific users that were on mobile networks like T-Mobile were having issues connecting to the game. So in order to troubleshoot those issues, they were asking players to provide their player ID, server, and IP address in the DMs. Well, at least that's better than putting it out in the open. But suffice to say, it sparked a lot of controversy. Now, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt actually. They're not trying to hack anyone. They were genuinely trying to help people with their issues and troubleshoot. And to be honest, if you didn't want your IP address and other data to be known by them, then don't play the game anyway, because those things are logged by the server when you log into the game. So it seems like they had good intentions for doing this, but it's still really weird to make an announcement saying, hey, could you send us your IP address in the DMs? Thanks. Yeah, that's one of those cases where it would be better to just ask them privately in the DMs on a case-by-case basis. And if you have to make an announcement, it should have been more along the lines of, hey, if you're having issues with the Wi-Fi and the mobile data, DM us and we'll help you out. That's all you really need to say. At the end of the day though, it's entirely up to you if you want to share that kind of information with the devs. Obviously, you shouldn't be giving information like that away to any random stranger, that's for sure. So, while they probably had good intentions, just be careful guys. Don't compromise your personal information, and don't click on any suspicious links. The common sense stuff. Then even more recently, some other worrying information came to light. Worrying, but not entirely unexpected either. So in the public text chats on the game itself, we've had offer wall spam bots showing up. If you go to the link that they post, you'll be asked to partake in a number of ads, download some apps and stuff like that, with the promise of elemental medals. Obviously, this is a complete scam, please don't do this. Protodude mentions that they have blocked 30 offer wall bots so far. And yeah, he's right. This stuff doesn't typically go down on the Taiwan and Japanese versions. To make matters worse, let's just read what one of the devs 0x had to say. Hang on, the person who can ban people is on vacation. He had been working like 36 hours straight. Uh-oh. Well, that's an oversight, isn't it? Why do you only have one person assigned as a mod that can ban people? That's the whole point of a team, isn't it? You're supposed to have multiple people with mod powers, so that if someone does take a vacation, if someone is absent, another person can cover for them. That's the entire point of a mod team. And that's when we get into the big point. The team from Nebula Joy that's working on the global version of Mega Man X DiVE is severely understaffed. I don't know how big the team is, but if it's only like 2 or 3 people working on this big game, oh my god, Godspeed to them. It really doesn't help that from what I've seen with Mega Man X DiVE so far, there's a lot of people trying out this game. People that wouldn't have touched the game on the Asian or Japanese versions simply because it's not available on their own native Google Play or App Store. The global version seriously has the potential to have the largest player base, if they don't already, out of the 3 major versions. You really need more than a handful of people working on this just to keep up with all the bots going on, and not to mention all the players. Especially, you know, this is the Western version, and Western culture can be pretty nasty sometimes. There's people out there with not so great intentions. That's why ideally you want a pretty beefy mod team. You need extra people working on the content for the game itself. Yeah, the global version only just launched a week ago as of today, and it's already a big dumpster fire of a mess. And if they really are understaffed, that explains a lot. It's starting to look like that Capcom going for the lowest bidder and letting someone else handle the game overseas is not working out for them at all. Now, I just want to say, this is not a knock against any one person. I'm sure the people that are in charge of this version are doing their very best to keep up. Maybe they're inexperienced and amateurish, yes, but they are at least trying and they are communicating with people, which is better than nothing, even if there has been a lot of embarrassments lately. If anything, I take issue with whoever it was that decided it was a great idea to understaff this team. Yeah, no, you need way more than just 3 people or whatever to work on this. I don't know if that was Nebula Joy's call or Capcom or both, but come on guys, hire some more people. By the way, in case you were curious, Protodude did have something to say about the reason why Mega Man X DiVE is not being handled by Capcom USA themselves. He said, sometime after X DiVE launched in Taiwan, there was some discussion about support in North America, but as English-speaking players continued to engage with the Taiwan version, Capcom concluded that there wasn't much need for it. English-speaking fans were already playing the game. And this is the funny part, my contact for all X DiVE stuff and the same person who told me this, was extremely taken aback with the Nebula Joy announcement. It came out of left field. And I'll be honest, Capcom did have a point. You could always download the game from the Taiwan official website. It was pretty dang easy to get into the game, even if you don't live in the regions that the game was intended for. So while the global version is nice, it also wasn't entirely needed, and maybe that's our fault. Maybe we were just too eager to play the game. But then again, there's a whole audience out there that was just waiting for a global version to happen before they even touched the game, which is fine too. But the fact remains is it was never entirely needed at all. And now with all this stuff going on with Nebula Joy, it really does not bode well for the future. I hope they do get their stuff figured out. But for now, for anyone who's already playing the Taiwan version, you may as well just stick to that, honestly. Because as a reminder, the Taiwan and Japanese versions are being handled by Capcom themselves. So, weird typos, English, and other errors aside, at least you are in better hands with the company that actually made the game. Well, in case you needed more evidence to drive home the point, here's yet another case of shenanigans that just happened today. Hey, intern! Make an announcement that Mega Man X's Ultimate Armor is coming to the game this week. Oh, okay, sire. Yeah, hey guys, the Ultimate Armor's coming this week. No, you idiot, not that Ultimate Armor, the other one. Oh, okay, hey guys, the white Ultimate Armor is... No, not that one, you dunce, the other Ultimate Armor. Oh shoot, sorry guys, I messed up. It's this guy. Do I really need to say more? Imagine not even confirming what the new character for the week is before making the announcement. Twice even! Not only does it seem like there's only one guy working on this whole thing, apparently the research wasn't even put in to figure this stuff out ahead of time. Let's not mention that it's Mega Man X, the literal title character. No, it's this guy. You had one job, guys. One job. And you blew it. I didn't even get into the fact that they did advertise free 10 pulls before the game launched, and that still hasn't happened yet. Oh my goodness, well that bodes well. Yeah, those of you playing the global version, good luck. That's all I really have to say on the subject. It's just really a big mess right now. But again, if they can get more people on staff, get more than one person actually modding the chat, and stop asking for personal information out in the open, they might still be able to turn it around. So Godspeed and good luck. On to more exciting things then. First of all, the parody manga Rockman-san has now gotten Chapter 7, albeit in Japanese. This chapter's focus is on Bomb Man, who caused an accident at a mine and has an existential crisis afterward, discussing it with Rockman and Roll afterwards at the Robot Bar 8-Bit. If you want to see the full chapter for yourself, even if you can't read it if you don't know Japanese, you can see it in the link in the description below, where you can also check out all the previous chapters for Rockman-san and Rockman-chan. Now for another big one. This week, the Sonic Amateur Games Expo 2021, or SAGE 2021 for short, has now gotten underway. From now until August 27th, you can check out a whole slew of fan game demos and other showcases for around a whopping 160 fan games, original games, and fan projects too. Obviously, since Sonic is in the name, that means the vast majority of the games are focused on, well, the Sonic the Hedgehog series. But I'm sorry to say, this is not a Sonic the Hedgehog channel. If you want coverage on those games, check out Tails' channel and other people covering it. However, like how our favorite Blue Bomber has had a couple of crossovers with the Blue Blur over the years, there are quite a large number of Mega Man fan games and projects that are available to check out during SAGE 2021. And well, since this is a Mega Man channel, that's going to be our focus for today. If you want to see any of the other stuff, we will leave a link to the SAGE 2021 website. Honestly, A lot of these are really cool looking. Now we're going to go down the list and talk about each of the Mega Man related projects here. Since there is a number of them here, I won't be able to cover them in full, but I do want to quickly introduce each one to you to get an idea of what they're about. Then from there you can visit the official Sage 2021 website to get more details on any of the games that catch your eye. Okay, let's rock. The Mega Man Star Force 2D engine is, as the name implies, an open source, fully 2D Mega Man Star Force engine with the idea that you can make your own Mega Man Star Force fan games with it. The biggest change from the main Mega Man Star Force series is that the battle system has been converted to a fully 2D space. It's also largely based on the first and second games, but with a couple of things from the third game too. You can also play around the overworld with all of its systems in place, 75 battle cards that are pre-installed, which were hand-picked from all three games, the Ability Wave system, Galaxy Advances, some cutscene functionality, and 3 playable characters, Geo, Harp Note, and Mega Man EXE. Hey, why not? This one also has controller support, so definitely check it out. While we're on the topic of Star Force fan games, here comes one that we covered in the past. Mega Man Star Force Endwave has gotten its own demo for Sage 2021, updated to version 1.3. For those not in the know, this fan game takes the concept for the cancelled Mega Man Star Force 4, which features Geo Stellar and Omegasis teaming up with the outlaw hacker Kazuma, who is meant to be the descendant of Land Hikari. Much like the Star Force 2D engine, the battle system here is entirely in 2D. The game also features a unique difficulty system which adjusts the power of your enemies and rewards based on your skill level in real time. It sucks that we never got the official Mega Man Star Force 4, but this one hopes to fill in the gap. So you will definitely want to look at this one if you're a Star Force fan. Would Mega Man be too OP if he used 2 Mega Busters? Well, that's what the fan game Mega Man Double Buster hopes to find out. In this one, all weapons can be used in 2 ways, using different buttons to use different busters, including the Mega Buster. All Robot Master weapons have offensive but also platforming abilities, so every time you face a challenge you have many ways to overcome it. The Sage 2021 demo features the intro stage and the ability to test all the Robot Master weapons. This one looks like a lot of fun. Next up is a proof of concept demo for the fan game Mega Man Micro World, which as you can tell from the graphical style is based on the Game Boy Mega Man titles. This one was made on the spot in 5 days by 2 developers, so obviously this game is in the very early stages. That said, the demo does allow you to play 1 completable stage with an original gimmick and a placeholder for Cutman's fight. Honestly, putting together a demo in only 5 days for Sage has to be very ambitious. Give them some love. Kicking it into Overdrive, Mega Man Overdrive is a fan game that mixes the classic Mega Man gameplay with modern platformer design philosophy and artwork to create a fresh new take on the classic series. I will say I do enjoy when developers make a new classic sprite instead of the usual NES one. Compliments to the artist, the art style looks pretty neat. Get ready to rumble with Mega Man Robot Master Mayhem version 3.1. A fighting game very much in the style of the Marvel vs. Capcom series, featuring over 30 characters from the Mega Man Classic series. Obviously the mains like Mega Man, Proto Man, Bass, and Roll, a ton of iconic Robot Masters, and hey, even Quint is in this one. In version 3.1, the newest additions to the roster is Dark Man from Mega Man 5, Magma Man from Mega Man 9, and even a Mega Man X Maverick, Chill Penguin. Some other features include several classic bosses from the series, 53 unique stages for each character with their own soundtracks, power sets which allow characters to pick up to 6 different types of powers or weapons in addition to special attacks, and animated with voiceover introductions and endings for each character. That's cool. If you ever wanted to see what a Mega Man Classic fighting game would be like, this is the one. If you ever wanted to see what the bonus mode in Mega Man The Wily Wars would be like in the 8-bit style, Mega Man Wily Tower will do just that. This is a standalone game that does not include Mega Man 1 through 3, but it does have 8-bit versions of the original game's graphics and music, one-to-one recreations of the original 7 stages, all of the weapons and utilities from Mega Man 1 through 3, with the inclusion of Time Slow and Oil Slider from Mega Man Powered Up, a sound test, and cheat codes. You can also enable an improved weapon style mode that balances all the weapons and allows weapon barriers to be destroyed by all the barrier breaking weapons. In addition, there is a few new options such as difficulty, infinite lives, game borders, filters, and all of that good stuff. Even a secret unlockable content that was not in the original game. Now you can play this game from start to finish, but it is still missing the final boss and some music. Still, this is a really cool idea, and it's nice to be able to play through Wily Tower with the original Mega Man 1 through 6 style graphics. Next up, we have a couple of Mega Man X related projects. Starting with a crossover, what if you put Mega Man X into a Sonic the Hedgehog game? That's where Mega Man X and Sonic the Hedgehog Blasting Adventure comes in. And I know, there are Sonic 2 mods with Mega Man X in them and stuff. However, this one is a modified version of the Sonic the Hedgehog Blasting Adventure fan game. Originally, X was going to be a secret playable character, but as the project grew, they decided to make the Mega Man X mode its own game essentially, also adding in his good buddy Zero. So this goes a little bit beyond a mod, really just making it a full-fledged Mega Man X adventure in the context of Sonic. Obviously, X has all of his own abilities, the X Buster, Dash, and Wall Kick. Zero's gameplay on the other hand is based on X3, having 2 charge shots and a Z-Saber attack. And then you have 4 power-ups that emulate the armor parts. Foot for air dash, body for reduced damage, arm for the double charge shot for X or the beam saber for Zero, and then the helmet for quick charge. Spin dash over and check it out. And then we have a demo for the fan game Mega Man X Sythesis. This is an early short demo featuring the intro stage, an old boss for players to fight, and playable X and Zero. However, they do note that this game was made mostly with X in mind, so it might be a little tough playing as Zero. Graphics wise, although it does remind me of Mega Man X Corrupted, I do enjoy the Mega Man X4 style sprites and the 16-bit style. It looks really nice. Draw a circle, dot the eyes, and hey, it's Kirby! This is the latest addition in the KWRPG series, KWRPG Buster. And yes, at first glance, this is a Kirby fan game, but it plays exactly like a Mega Man game would. Complete with a stage select, 8 different bosses to fight, and their powers to get. Oh, and an evil doppelganger to face too. I see some other references thrown in there as well. Like, yep, Dragon Ball Z. This is a complete game, not a demo, so why not download it? Last, but definitely not least, is a demo for Megamet. This one is inspired by the Hard Hat series and the Oh Joe's, a Proto Man adventure game. Megamet features a cast of various types of mechs ranging from main characters to bosses and even enemies. The main focus is the shielding system. Megamet can hide under his helmet to protect himself. However, the shield can only reflect basic palettes without consequences. You have one stage for this demo, the Ice Met level. They note that this is the most basic out of the 4 Met Master stages, and it does let you try out every possible scenario for the shield interactions, so it was just a great fit for the demo. I've heard some early impressions from people that played the demo, and I'm hearing some great things about this one. It seems like a good game, so this is definitely a recommended must-play. I've said this many times and I'll say it again. It's really awesome that the Mega Man fan game community is so active, and they're always delivering such great stuff from the fan games to the mods to the frameworks for engines, really keeping the Mega Man series alive in the absence of official games from Capcom, especially now that we're waiting on the next major Mega Man title, which looks like it's going to come out in 2022. And I do apologize if I missed anyone for the Stage 2021 coverage, but hopefully I covered most if not all of it. And once again, link in the description below if you want to see all of the games in their fullest. That does bring us to the end of today's Mega News Roundup. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned to ShadowRockZX for all things Mega Man, and I want to thank all the SRZX channel members, including the GA class supporters, LML123, Chaos Bonkai, Zero Scarlet, Aging Cauldron, Vent Crystals, Rose Maverick Saiyan, Rico Syndrome, and Austin Buford. We appreciate all the support, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's Mega News Roundup, and we'll see you later this week, hopefully on Wednesday this time, for the usual Rockman X DiVE coverage stream. Until then, rock on and have yourselves a great day or night.